wonder where the rain came from?
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about the water cycle and why it rains, where rain comes from, as many of you love the rain. We'll be discussing what you already think you know about the water cycle. Then we'll talk about the name of each step. Then we will learn about the water cycle and each scientific step. Then at the end we'll understand how the water cycle affects the ecosystem. Okay? Sound good? Period. What are some places where you can find water? Just name me some. Off the top of your head. Pool, lakes, oceans,
Soil,
rivers, pools,
lakes.
Okay, yeah, those are great places, and in all of those spots, we see water. The water cycle is a process that goes like this: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, then it all repeats over and over again. And then the water goes through all of these stages before we get to see the rain. And while it's in the first two stages, we do not visibly see the process until it actually starts raining, right?
Yeah.
These are just the basic steps to the water cycle. So let's discuss what each step it does exactly, okay? So I drew a picture on a dry erase board. So the water cycle consists of 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The first step is evaporation. The water from an ocean, river, or lake evaporates and it turns into what we call water vapor, right?
Yeah.
It rises into the air, and then the second step is called condensation. This is when the water vapor reaches a spot in the sky that's cold enough to condense and form a water droplet, right? So to get to condensation, we have to have a cold atmosphere and water vapor, right? So the third step is precipitation. Precipitation is when the clouds actually get too heavy and they can no longer hold the water droplets. So that means that when something's too heavy, right, it has to drop, right? You gotta either put it down or it's gonna break. It's gonna fall out your hand, right? So that's pretty much what happens to the cloud. The cloud is like, look, man, we can't do this no more. It gotta go, right? So then that's how we get what we call rain. And precipitation can be either water, snow, or hail. I know we live in Louisiana, so y'all probably don't know about snow like talking about, but that's what snow is a process, and so is hail.
Time we have snow day. I think it depends on how cold the day is, like, right?
Yeah, if it snows or if it rains, yes. Okay. So, and the last step in the process is just for the whole water cycle to repeat. So it goes over and over and over again. That's why it rains so much, right?
It's not a number.
So, now that we have covered the names of each step, let's discuss why the water cycle is so important to our ecosystem. If there was no water cycle, we would have no naturally clean water. Without the water cycle, plants, animals, insects, and us humans would not be able to survive. The water cycle also moves nutrients, pathogens, sediments in and out of the aquatic system. An article I read says that the water cycle is extremely important because it enables the availability of water for all living organisms and regulates weather on our planet. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a little interesting, right?
Yes.
So now we're going to get into the activity. What will you need for the activity? You'll need Ziploc bags, markers, Sharpie markers, water, and food coloring, right? Okay, so you guys drew your water cycle on your Ziploc bags already, right?
Yes.
Period. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 1/4, like we're going to fill the bag up 1/4 of the way with water, okay? So let's do that. Open your bags. Come on. All right. Now Now we gotta do yours. All right. So we fill the bags, and then we gotta close it seal. And then we're gonna tape it on one of the windows. And then tomorrow, in a couple days, we'll see how foggy the bag gets, right? So this will kind of show us the process of the water cycle through a Ziploc bag. Yeah. So what all did you guys learn? What did you get?
I learned that water is evaporating everywhere.
Period. See, Kaylee?
I learned that if we didn't have water, all the things that lives on this earth would die.
Period. So overall, I hope everyone learned the names of each stage and some facts about each one, as well as how the water cycle affects our ecosystem. The water cycle is a great process that helps the world out a lot. So now that you guys have learned all about this process, I hope that you take what you've learned and tell others. Thank you.